Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to bestiesgonebonkers. I'm Aaliyah,
And I'm Bianca.
and we are back with episode 2.
Round of applause. We're
Yes.
doing good so far.
And just to start it off, I just want to thank everybody who
Oh, yeah.
watched our first episode and gave us feedback and let us know that y'all were watching. It was nice to see our families
Yeah.
sending us pictures.
And those who are now following along with us
Yes.
with the book.
Love y'all. Yeah, I had one person reach out to me about starting the book, and then I did listen to the podcast in class with all of my class.
With the whole class?
The whole class. My teacher put it on.
Oh, my God.
And I would love to apologize right now for the amount of times that I said the word and literally. I'm going to try my best to not do this on this episode.
Alex did the same thing about me, too.
Yeah.
It was like, why are you just saying like the whole time? And I was like, I don't know. Or like I just said like.
All right. My teacher was like, I'm going to count how many times you say
Take a shot.
Yes.
You should do like take a shot for every
Every
time we say
time.
like.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be blacked out by the end of
For real.
the episode.
Okay, well, this episode is going to be us asking each other questions. We wrote down questions. She wrote down her own.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down my own. Some of mine are mainly based friendship, but also just like other questions. That's what we're doing.
True.
And we'll probably talk about other things and get into other things as we answer questions. So, yeah.
Okay. You want to start? Or
you start. Let's rock, paper, scissors. It.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fuck. Okay. So I go first or you go first?
Oh, you lost.
Okay. Go first.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're starting off simple.
Okay.
How would you describe our friendship?
Christ. I feel like the way I would describe it to somebody. Is that what you're saying? Or like
yeah.
Okay. I feel like if I had to sit down, like here we go messing with this mic. If I had to sit down and talk to somebody about our friendship, I would say that it's probably one of the most genuine friendships that I've had. I think I held like a very special place in my heart for you just because I don't think I've ever been like appreciated in a friendship the way I have been with you. And like, I'm not saying that I haven't had good friendships outside of our friendship, but I think it's because like I don't want to make other people feel like the friendships I have with them aren't just as important. Like they are, but like the bond that me and you have and like the things that we've shared and we've found comfort in are different. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that we've gone through individually that we've trusted each other with. That's just the way I would describe a friendship, like just something that's very strong, very unique and just everything.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, next question. Your turn.
What was your first impression of me?
Oof. I ain't got good memory. Just letting you know.
That's okay. Just say it.
I don't know. Because I don't. The only first, like, encounter I do, like, vividly remember is just when we first met. Like, or not when we first met. Is when we had that brunch.
Okay.
Or that lunch or breakfast or whatever.
But what would you say, like, in that moment, like, once we started talking? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be, I would say, like, maybe the first time we hung out, like, the first time we went out, like, what was your fresh, like, impressions? Like,
probably that you were a bitch.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, well, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say quiet or timid, but you were. Like, you were kind of just, like, reserved.
Like, it comes off as, like, I'm being a bitch because I'm so, like...
Yeah.
I think because I'm observant. Like, I'm going to see what the vibes are around me before I, like...
Like, you were never just, like, you know when you meet somebody and off the bat they're just, like, oh, my God. Like, you were never like that. So I think you're just... I got the first impression that you were just reserved to yourself at the beginning. And then, obviously, like, over time, you just opened up, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So was your first impression that I was a bitch or that I was...
Both. Because I've seen you rip another one on people.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because we would have
And in the
practices before
beginning,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah. But I think more just that you were reserved.
Okay. Okay, next question.
Okay. What is your biggest fear?
Mm. I think my biggest fear. Mm, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I couldn't even think of mine either.
I think my biggest fear would have to be not accomplishing everything that I have set for myself
Mm.
and also not being able to like get the opportunity to have a family
Mm.
because I know deep down like I want one.
Having like the typical like family and like career and
Yeah, like but my thing is that I guess when you go deeper into like what I mean by family, like have a healthy family and like
mm.
something loving, like I just want to make sure that my kids always know that they're like loved and
Mm.
appreciated and cared for and like that they can come to me for anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a fear like that my kids feel like they can't come
Oh, I
to
see
me.
what you're saying. Okay.
Like the deeper part of like
Yeah.
what a
Not just a
family is. Not that I
family.
can't
Yeah.
have one, but like that I don't have a good one. So like
Mm-hmm.
that's like one of my fears and also just like
Like a healthy relationship
making
like with
sure
your
I accomplish everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Having a healthy household.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely want that. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's your turn or mine?
Mine? You just
Oh.
asked me what
Oh,
my
sorry.
biggest fear was. Do you believe in love at first sight?
Mm, I don't think at first sight.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Why?
I don't think. Okay. At first sight is like, okay, let's say you walk into a bar and you
Mm-hmm.
see someone and you're like, oh my God, I'm in love with them. Or it's like you go on that first date and you spend with them like the date or whatever and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, oh my God, I'm in love with them.
No, like love at first sight, like you see them and you just like get this feeling of
I know.
like of want. Like you want to get to know them. Like you want to like you're curious. Like you're like I guess that's the way I see it. I don't know how everybody else sees it, but like love at first sight, like you're obviously attracted to them because like you
Mm-hmm.
see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're curious, like you want to know about them. You want to be able to get to know this person like on a deeper level.
I don't know. I think yes and no.
Okay.
Because if I'm just thinking about like sight, you're like,
So obviously just seeing them I feel like it's like that attraction.
okay, attraction, yes, but automatically like in love with you,
No,
no.
not in love. I'm saying love at first sight. I'm not saying in love at first sight. I'm saying love at first sight. Like you're like, wow, I want to get to know that person.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding it right. Like the way I'm thinking about it. That's how I'm thinking about it. That's why. But maybe like
Look,
you're
let's search this up.
curious.
Let's search it up because I feel like maybe I think of it differently than
Because that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking love at first sight. It's like whenever you like you never see them, and then
you see them
you
for the
walk into
first
a room.
time.
That's why you're and, like you see them across the room. Like oh my God, I'm in love with them. But okay, but then I
I
see.
feel like you can't just fall in love with
Well,
somebody though.
that's what I'm thinking. The question is
No, but like I'm meaning it in
like you see them and you're around them and you're like you're curious about them. Okay, that I understand.
like
Yes.
you see them and you're like immediately attracted to them. Like
Oh yeah.
right? And then you're like, I want to get to know this person. So, love at first sight is the phenomenon of having intense feelings or someone the second that you meet them.
So it is when you first walk in.
Yeah, like you see them and you like. That's what I'm saying. Like it's saying like the second that you meet them, you have intense feelings, like the way you're attracted to them, the way they look, the way
I don't think so.
you know.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Like, because I'm thinking of like when you walk into a first room, like when you first walk into a room.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking of. But like when you're putting it like let's say you're to hang out, and then you walk in and there's that guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you see him and you're like, oh my god, I'm in love with him. But I guess like as the night goes on,
But you're thinking of like falling like immediately in love with him. Like that's not what it is. It's just having those like deep feelings of like attraction to this person. Like and you need to know them.
I guess. I guess,
I
yeah.
mean, it's your opinion, but I'm telling you it's not so much like necessarily like, "Oh my god, I'm in love with him." Like obsessed. Like it's more like you see them and you're like, "Yeah, I'm attracted to this person in every way." Like and I need to know more about them.
Okay, then probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's maybe, yes.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Mhm.
I forgot what question we're on. Three? Right?
3.
Oh. Do you believe in soulmates?
Okay, give me the definition of a soulmate.
My phone.
I will search it up. I forget that we're using a close friend or romantic partner with whom one has a unique, deep connection based on mutual understanding and acceptance. I think so. I do believe that everybody has a soulmate out there, whether it's friendship, relationship wise. My answer to that would definitely be yes. Like because like imagine if you didn't believe in a soulmate and this relationship wise. If you didn't believe in a soulmate relationship wise, then like I feel like that'd be sad because you feel like you don't have a person out there that's meant for you,
Yeah, like I think there is somebody for everybody.
for everybody. Yeah.
Even
And
friendship
even
wise, like I
friendship
think
wise.
you're my soulmate.
No, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, friendship wise, I see you as my soulmate.
Hmm.
100%. Like, it's good to believe that there's such thing as soulmates because
Like, do you
then you
think
don't
you
look
have a
for it.
soulmate? Like
Yeah.
relationship wise?
Yeah,
Okay. So then you do believe in soulmates.
I do.
Mhm. Okay.
Why do you think our friendship has lasted so long?
Communication and honesty. We've obviously had tough conversations, and like if I wasn't honest with you and told you like, hey, like I don't know how to tell you this, but like this and this and this.
Hmm.
Even when we're far away, it's just like, oh, when we had that conversation, like, oh, something's off.
Yeah,
I think communication and honesty. That's why.
100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
because if we didn't have communication, how would we have survived all those years?
Yeah, because we were so far apart.
And even now, well, not we're not far apart, but like, I think I think even now that as we're closer, like in distance together, we do have a lot more communication and honesty
And it's
with each other.
easier.
Yeah, obviously. Mm, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
What is your love language?
Physical touch.
I feel like
I think I
yours is
have.
also.
Okay, you tell me what you
I
said.
feel like yours is also giving gifts.
Like I like to give.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I think I have a little bit of everything to be honest.
a
Like
mixture.
but I would say like my top one is definitely physical touch like being able to hug you and like give you kisses
Hmm.
like or like when I feel like you're going through it, like I'm gonna do that for you. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And then like I love giving gifts because I just like it's like the excitement that somebody gets from like getting a gift.
Yeah.
But I also love like giving words of affirmation and I think that stems a lot from like why I love to read books because I feel like in books they're so verbal about like why they love them and like all of these things. So
Hmm.
I think it's important to like constantly remind your person that you care about them and that you love them and that you're proud of them.
Just
Because if you don't,
reminders.
then they don't feel like they're appreciated.
Hmm.
And then what's the other one? Gift giving.
Receiving gifts, touch, words of affirmation.
There's another one.
No, are you sure?
Acts of service, receiving gifts, quality
Oh,
time, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
quality time.
So acts of service, well, like this is gonna kind of go off, but
Isn't that kind of
acts of service. What do you think acts of services are?
like for me, like I think actors. How do I give you an example? Okay, like when I wake up in the morning, like Alex will go and make my coffee,
Okay,
like that, right? Or is it like
let me
giving
see.
gifts? Because
No, because that would be gift giving. where actions speak louder than words.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like
So like standing on business is basically
period.
that is. I feel like that's really important. Um I think all of them are just things that should be
Incorporated.
incorporated in all relationships. But
Hmm.
the way you said like what mine would be, like my top one would
Hmm.
definitely be like physical touch.
But I feel like now that we're on the like now that we talked about just acts of service,
Hmm.
I think you're really big on acts of service too.
You think so?
Because we'll be like somewhere and you're like, for example, like for example, let's say, I don't know. I feel like you think of people like all the time, like oh, this person would like this, or
Hmm.
oh, this person said this, or this person mentioned they like this, or whatever.
Mm.
Like even when I'm at the store, I think of you. I'm like, oh, she likes Dr. Pepper. Let me get her Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper. Like when you just came
Dude, when
over.
you do that, my heart beats a little faster. I'm like,
Well,
she's
I'm
just
sorry,
giving
I
me
have no
some time.
Dr. Pepper for you. Oh well, I ordered it, but
I
then
remember the
Walmart just
first
got
time though
canceled.
you like came back and you're like, I got you some Dr. Pepper's friend. I was like, love her. No, yeah, I
I
feel
think
like
you are.
acts of service, like just how it said, like actions speak louder than words. So
Okay, I have another question. Okay,
okay,
don't continue. Go
go ahead.
first. So when you ask like, okay, when I ask you what's your love language, okay, I guess I'm asking myself this, but is it how you love somebody or how you would want someone to love you? Does that make sense?
I think it can be either or.
So how would you want someone to love you?
I feel like I said, I think everything that involves like all of the acts of services, like I feel like, for example, like I love receiving flowers, and it's
Mhm.
something so small, and it's like literally you could pick a flower from outside and give it to me, and
Mhm.
like I love it. Like physical touch, I need it because
Mhm.
then I feel like if you're not wanting to hug me or you're not wanting to kiss me, like why?
You don't want me.
Like
You
why
don't
do you
love
hate
me.
me? Like why do you hate me? And then I feel like I don't necessarily need gift giving though. Like
Mhm.
I don't need you to go and constantly like feel like you have to get me something on time.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that's more like coming from your heart. For example, like
I
with
thought
you,
of you.
like if I see a bookmark, for example, like this is just example. If I
Mhm.
see it and it's like, oh, like that reminds me of B, like I would get it for you.
Mhm.
But I don't feel necessarily that I would have to ask for that. Like I wouldn't ask for
Mhm.
that. But I would ask for like for you to hug me and kiss
Mhm.
me. Like
Mhm.
so yeah, I think a little bit of everything is good and it's healthy to just
Okay.
get a little bit of everything. Just a nice little mixture. And I think it's because I give that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't always give it. Like sometimes, people lack in certain things, but you got to realize that sometimes. I think it's important to learn though what your partner's biggest one is
Mm.
because you want to meet that like
How they want to be loved.
mhm.
I see what you mean.
What qualities do I bring as a friend?
Honesty.
that was real. That was real easy to answer, huh?
Honesty, and I feel like you're just like a down bitch. Like you're just down. Like you're just down, and I feel like also you're really
Have we been saying like a lot?
probably
Fuck. Okay, from here on out. Okay, go.
no promises on my end because I say it for everything. Um, like you're
My teacher, my teacher said that you say a lot. She called you out.
you
You like. That's what you wanted to say, right?
you are a down bitch, and you are super honest, and okay, you're very understanding. So like, okay, sometimes you're very understanding.
Not the
Like on the
sometimes.
times where okay, I'll have days where I'm in a mood, right? And to like give me my space, or you're just like, what's wrong? Or you just understand, like, because I'll have those days where I'm just like in a slump and I'm down bad, and you're just like, sorry, it's hard. It's hard to. I need to just cut that out of my vocabulary.
It's hard to talk without it.
Yeah.
Because when they were calling me out in class, like I kept saying it and I realized it. But go on.
But I feel like, everybody says it.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody says it.
But we said it a lot. Like,
I know.
That's all you heard.
When I was editing the video,
I
it's
just
like,
said it again.
Like. Anyways, whatever.
Maybe we could just cut those little parts in the beginning, like when we started off with it. Go on, just go.
I'm gonna purposely send it. I'm gonna purposely cut it out. Anyways, you bring qualities you bring to the friendship: honesty, understanding, and you're very respectful. Like, you are very respectful of like our friendship in all aspects. I think the major one is that you're with it. Like,
Yeah, I'm just down.
You're with it. You're just down. You're with it, and you're like, if I want to do something, you're like, all right, let's do it. Or if I want to do something, I'm the same way too, right? But yeah,
okay.
You're just like my go-to girl. Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
Me? I thought it was your turn.
I just asked you.
What did you ask me? Oh yeah.
Quality side.
When are you most comfortable?
When am I most comfortable? I don't know.
See, okay, when I was writing this down, I didn't know if it meant like, okay, at home, or like clothing, or think of like you're at your most like peaceful. It could be place, time, season.
I
whatever.
think I am most peaceful, like at a place. Like if I could tell you like a place that I feel like if I was having just like a hard day and like I couldn't reach you,
Okay,
or
yeah,
just
let's change it. Let's do most at peace.
Most at peace. Like where I could go and like sit somewhere and just like, I would say the island, to be honest. And I think when I was away from home, every time I came home, like I was like, I just want to go to the beach, because there's something so peaceful about just like sitting there and like ocean. Genuinely listening to nothing but the water. Like, and you can just think and like clear that part of your mind. And I don't know, I just feel like I wouldn't say, I think I cherish alone time a lot for me, because even though like when I'm with you, like I feel comfortable and I'm at peace. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody or any person that I'm with that brings me that kind of peace, I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
But when I'm by myself, and I don't know, like I feel like, I don't know if others can relate, but like everyone needs their alone time at some point. Because you get overstimulated, or you just need time to think, and you have other priorities. Like there's people who have different priorities that are going on. Like for you have a husband. It's just not me and you anymore. So there are situations now that you may not come to me anymore because you have a person. And I feel like people struggle with things like that, and that it's okay to like go and find comfort in other places. But I would say my most at peace would be at the island, where I could just like listen and like be calm. But most comfortable I feel is always going to be with like your person, or when you're by yourself and you can genuinely just like lock in for yourself, or be with your person, is what I would say. Like that would be my answer.
You're most comfortable.
Because you should feel most comfortable with your person.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't have time away.
Be at peace and be comfortable with being alone.
Yeah. Everybody should be able to do that, though. I feel like.
Because I wasn't able to in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then as time went on, I learned to be by myself.
Mhm.
But now I'm glad I'm not by myself anymore.
Okay, my turn. Have you ever questioned our friendship? And we're doing full honesty here. So if you
Okay.
have, just say it.
I don't know. Okay, I have really bad memory, so I don't know. I think maybe when I was in Houston and you were in College Station, and like we just kind of like we would talk like every once a week. I think during that time,
Mhm.
probably. But I don't think maybe as like, oh my god, you're a bad friend like that. I
Mhm.
think like, oh my god, like I'm gonna lose her, like, pro- probably like that. But never questioning like your integrity, your whether you're being like I don't say like loyal, but like loyalty as a best friend.
Mhm.
Like you're not talking about me behind my back or whatever. Mm, probably just around that time,
Just a
but never like
distance.
after that. Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
your turn.
Have you? That's not my question though.
Mm, I wouldn't say, just kind of like how you said, I wouldn't. It's how you just said. I haven't questioned you in a way of like that you won't ever be there for me or that you won't
Hmm.
show up. I'm gonna get honest here.
Hmm.
I think once Alex came home, I didn't question it, but
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
I can feel like in a way it feels like I was replaced.
Mm.
Because I think when I came home, it was just me and you. So it
Hmm.
was like you were inviting me here and you were inviting me there. So like I was like, oh, okay. And then Alex came home and it kind of like switched over. And so like you had Alex to do all these things with,
No.
which is like fine. Like that's your person. And I think it was just hard for me to kind of transition.
Hmm. And I think also the time we had alone, like we never had alone.
Yeah.
So I think we were just trying to like make up for lost
Mm-hmm.
time. And I love you, Alex. But like when he came, it's like we still like we currently still are making
I
up.
didn't bring my makeup and I'm like
Oh,
full on crying right now. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we still are making up for lost time.
Mm-hmm.
So when Alex came home, it's like I'm also making up that lost time with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard.
Yeah.
And I never knew that you felt like that. You should have just told
I know,
me.
but like at the same time, who am I to take you away from your person?
Hmm.
Like, you know, I'm not going to be that person that's like, I didn't want you to feel as if I was saying, like, well, you're just like forgetting about me because you're with him.
Mm.
But I do feel it because I am alone if
Hmm.
I don't have you. Because who else do I have here?
Yeah.
So I feel it deeper because I don't have anyone else. And I think if I wanted to go and spend time with other people, or just if I had another person that I could go and do things with or anything like that, it'd be different. But majority of the time I'm by myself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think that's why I feel it deeper. But not necessarily that I've ever questioned you and like, are you a good friend or anything like that. It's just certain circumstances that have happened that kind of make me just sad.
Make you feel alone.
Hmm.
Oh, friend.
Ah, not me getting emotional.
Okay, so now that you read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and that's romantasy. Okay, so do you prefer romantasy or dark romance still?
That's a hard question. Um,
Okay, because this is only no. Actually, you've read powerless.
Yeah.
So this is like your second.
But I haven't read Reckless, so like I'm in the middle of like a transition where I don't know if they're gonna be together or not, because of the way it ends. But look, to be honest, I think I have fallen in love with that kind of like,
because you were like die hard like
dark
romance,
romance.
and we both were.
I I feel that with my dark romance era, I started off with like dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's kind of not your normal read and it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I keep getting into dark romance and the darker I go, the more I feel like I need to pull away a little bit.
Mm.
Because some
You're
of
like
these
digging and digging and
books,
digging and digging
some
down.
of these books are really getting really dark. And maybe it's just because look at Alex.
Allah.
And I think it was good for me to kind of take that break away from it and find a different genre that I liked. As I was reading Fourth Wing, no, as I was reading Iron Flame, I started God of Malice. So I was reading them kind of same time. So when I would get tired of one, I would go to my dark romance, and then when it got a little bit too much, I would switch back. And then I was also doing, before we picked God of Malice to be our book of the month, I was reading The Sinner.
The Sinner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, from okay.
So like that book is dark. Like it's dark, and sometimes I needed a break, and I would go and read Iron Flame, and I'd be like, I think it's just the tension
And
from
that's
like
what I was
reading
telling
those
you, and
books.
you're like, no, I could never get into fantasy. I could never like fantasy.
Because I didn't realize as you read it more and more and more, it gets. I need a little bit of spice in my books.
Okay,
basically,
yeah.
like let me be honest. I need a little bit of spice in my books, and not where it's like crazy.
Or tension at least.
Like there's that tension of like you need these characters to like be together because you want them to just be in love.
Mm-hmm.
Like you live through them and you just want them to be in love with each other. And so it gives me that like you know the tension between them. And it's just like yes, 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 yes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be spicy where like they're doing this, this and that. But I need that like love. Like that like they need to be together right now. And that will happen like in Haunting, right? For example,
Yeah.
we're going real off topic, but like in Haunting, there's that tension there because he's stalking her. And there's that tension, you just want them to get together. And then spicy things happen. We will talk. We're gonna have a pod about Haunting. We have to finish Phantom, and then we're gonna talk about all of them together. We're gonna talk about Haunting 1 and 2, Where's Molly, and Phantom, all in one pod. Anyways, but to answer your question, right now, I do prefer it
Fantasy.
over dark romance right now, for sure.
I feel like when you're gonna read okay, I finished God of Malice today actually. I think when you read God of Malice, you're gonna be like, ooh.
Okay, like it's gonna push me back in there.
Because I feel like how I felt with, well,
like it's gonna get me back, like ease me back into being excited about dark romance.
I'm not gonna say like I felt the exact same things reading God of Malice as I did with Haunting. This reminded me why I love dark romance. Okay. Yeah. Because when we were reading The Ritual in the Center, like I loved it, but that was dark. Like The Sinner is dark. Did you finish it?
I haven't.
No. Is it The Sinner?
What is it's Ritual? Ritual, Sinner, Sacrifice.
The Sacrifice.
The Sacrifice is the bad one. I said Sinner, but Sacrifice.
Yeah, Sacrifice.
I love The Ritual.
Oh, okay. I did too.
I love how obsessed he was with her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're gonna love this one then.
And then Sinner. Ugh, that was the middle. I liked it, and then I was like,
it was like the next level.
And
but then Sacrifice, I feel like took it
to like another level. But they're good books.
They are
like she's a good author. Like genuinely, she's a good author. How I was saying it. I think when you read it too, when you're reading dark romance back to back, you burn out from it, and then it becomes too much because that's all you're reading and all you're listening to. If you're audio, like if you're doing audio, and you need that, like you need that middle ground where you get back to like a love story. That's
the fluffy romance.
The fluffy, yes. Because like, what series is it?
Flawless, no, powerless, no.
Yeah, yes, Flawless, Powerless, Reckless by Elsie. What's that series called?
Which one?
Powerless, Reckless by Elsie.
It's the Chestnut series.
Okay, the Chestnut series is beautiful because you have the toxicness a little bit. You have the banter, the love, you have the flirting. Then you have the spice, and I love those. Like those are what I would say that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And then I've gotten into fantasy, which is beautiful. I just hate the build up. It's boring.
World building.
It's boring.
World building.
Boring, 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 boring.
Yes and no, but then, okay, that's how I thought. But then after I finished reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, like I came to like appreciate the world building because they go into detail.
So have I with this book. I think this series has pushed me into understanding that you have to go through like the burning of like them building up everything to get to like the good part. So now once I finish this, like I'm definitely gonna want to get into the Akatar series.
Just don't even read the first book again. Just read the
I'm not gonna read the first book again. I'm gonna jump to second.
Okay, so fantasy then.
Yeah.
Right now,
is my genre right now, I would say. I think it's gonna have a very high point in my reading this year.
Oh yeah.
Me too. So.
I think fantasy will take over my bookshelf.
Yeah. And I want to get into more of the fluffy love back again. Like I want to start reading Elsie again. And
did you ever read Daydream?
I really want Daydream. No.
Oh.
I need to though because she's one of my favorites.
That book was cute.
Icebreaker.
Okay.
Okay, we are talking way too much about books. Okay. Who is next?
You.
Okay. Do you care about others' opinions?
With certain things, I care about. It's not that I care about random people's opinions.
Okay.
Like I'll care about your opinion or I'll care about Alex's opinion or my grandparents' opinion, right? I'm trying to think in what aspect that I care about opinions.
Okay, let me give you my take on this. And then maybe it'll help you answer a little bit better. I think when somebody gives me their opinion, I'm going to have that opinion. I'm going to take it into consideration, I guess you could say. I'm going to take your opinion on what you think, but I'm not necessarily going to do what you want just because that's your opinion of me. I'm still at the end of the day going to do what I want to do. So you can give me an opinion about what books to read, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna read it. And that's just like that's just like what I could relate to, you know? That's how I think of an opinion, but not necessarily like if I go out and
like if I put on an outfit like when we're gonna go out and I say, do I look good? You're gonna tell me no. Okay, I'm gonna listen to your opinion because you're my best friend and you know what's best for me.
Yeah.
But if I ask some random girl in the bathroom like, hey, does my outfit look good? Well, she might tell me honest, right? Like, no, you do not look good, right? Like
that'd be fucked.
Yeah. I wouldn't really listen to them. So that's why I say in certain things I will.
Okay. You think about it, but not necessarily meaning you're gonna do it because they said.
Yeah. So
that's how I see it.
So yes and no.
I feel like it's kind of like the way I'm saying.
With people who are close around me, yes, I will. But random people, no.
Maybe that's the difference.
Yeah.
Like even if I know you or I don't know you, I'm going to take your opinion. If I come to you and I'm asking you for your opinion, right? Which I come to you and I ask you for certain opinions on certain situations or whatever I'm
Yeah.
going through in life, you'll give me an opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
do I always take your opinion?
No.
No, because at the end of the day, I'm my own person and I'm going to make the choices I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see that question, I guess.
Yeah. So yes and
Okay, your turn.
no. What's something you'd tell your younger self?
Ah, shit.
Getting deep here. Kinda. Yeah. You don't have to get
I'm
too.
not. I'm
Okay.
just trying to think of what I would tell myself. Like if I could sit down with like high school me,
It doesn't. It can be high school, elementary, middle
I
school,
I just
whatever.
feel like when I was young, I
You wouldn't
didn't
have
really
listened.
like, not that I wouldn't have listened, but in high school there was always something happening.
Mm.
I would sit down and tell myself that everything is going to be okay.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. You're going to get through it. And even now, like I feel like I still have to tell myself things like that now, that I'm going to be successful and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
do all of these things, and I wish I had that mindset when I was younger because I think I'd be a lot farther,
Mm-hmm.
and to not listen to what other people want from me and to do what I want to do. That would be the biggest thing I would tell myself, is to fuck what everybody else wants you to do. Do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, all you have is you. Like
Period.
at the end of it,
You
you're gonna
yourself.
financially take care of yourself. You're gonna be the one who emotionally is there for yourself until you get a partner, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you know how
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean. I
yeah.
don't mean it in a bad way. Um, I would tell myself that. Now that I think of
Mm-hmm.
it, like, don't be scared. Do what you want to do and full send that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I would tell myself.
Okay, that's a good one.
Do you feel that communication is important in a relationship/friendship?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like 100%.
Why?
I feel like different forms of communication because if I text you something, you can take it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So we also need to be able to communicate verbally because it's so easy, and that's one thing that I had to learn. Because like for me, I'm gonna be honest. For me, it's so hard for me. It's so hard for me to communicate how I'm feeling verbally because of I'm afraid to be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So I will communicate.
Love you.
I will communicate a lot through text, and I'm learning slowly. And I'm gotten better also to just say it. I just think it's better for you to know how I'm feeling because then let's say you go do something and I don't like it, but I don't communicate and tell you like, oh, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that you do this or you say this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next time you're gonna do it, it's gonna make me mad. I'm gonna blow up on you. Okay, but then you're gonna be like, well, I did it the other time and you didn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no communication, there's miscommunication, and like it could just lead to problems.
Yeah. Do you feel when you are communicating, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like person to person,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people understand other people in the wrong way?
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm following.
Okay. So,
Like it comes off wrong. You mean?
okay, my communication.
Okay,
Sometimes I say things
but you're blunt.
and I'm blunt,
Okay.
and
Someone can take it some way, and I can take it another way. Is that what you're
yes.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. It's the same thing with like text. You can send a text a certain way, but your tone can sound off to them.
Mm-hmm.
But your tone can sound normal to another person.
Yeah. I feel I'm very sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
and I do prefer to either have a conversation on the phone or in person.
Well, that's what I'm
And
saying.
I think I've learned that recently.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned because I used to be just like you, like just text it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get emotional and I start
Mm-hmm.
to cry when I talk to somebody in person or on
Mm-hmm.
the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want you to think that like I'm crazy or that I'm crashing out because I'm crying. It's just I get very emotional.
Mhm.
But I've learned that it is better when you communicate
Just talk it
through a
out.
phone call or in person, because then you know what's genuinely trying to be asked.
Mhm. Well, that's why I say different forms of communication, because there's times where you can't communicate over the phone or in person, whatever, right off the bat. Let's say something happened, like him and I are like at a event or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he does something, and I'm not going to just. I can either hold it till later, but if it's really bothering me, I'll send him a text like, "Hey, we can let's not talk about this right now because we're in front of all these people, but like this and this, like I don't like this,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want to have a conversation about it later."
Mm-hmm.
And then, but that's one type of communication. There's another communication that where you do talk about it later, and you're comfortable and you're able to have that communication about it or talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Your turn.
Me?
Yes.
Which one?
I just asked you about if communication was important.
Oh, okay. Oh, how long do you think a couple should date before getting married? I've been wanting to ask you this because when I told you that Alex and I got married, not that we were engaged, but we got married. We had been dating.
I'm like, run the clip. So let's give a little backstory to that really quickly. Before Bianca was married, her husband did FaceTime me to show me rings and,
You knew it was coming.
just doing the bestie duties. And I remember telling him, when you ask her, make sure you tell me so I can plan to be there. Yeah. Okay. Then he goes back and he's like, are we sure on this one? We're going back and forth between two. And I'm like, yes, this one, like, she's going to like it. And he's like, okay.
He puts a hand down.
And I'm like, she calls me. I can't even tell you how many days later, but it was like days or like 2 weeks. It was not far apart. From what I recall, I could be wrong. Calls me, and I get a FaceTime call. I'm at work. FaceTime call, and I answer.
The marriage certificate.
And I'm like, ain't no way. And I wouldn't say I was not happy, but I was also not happy because I wanted to be there. But after the fact, like now that we're past all of it, I'm happy that you all did it the way you did it because that's what you all wanted. And it was like special for you. But just my bestie guilt in me was like, why am I not there? But the fact that I was like called, it made me feel like, okay,
You were the first one we called.
I was included.
You were the first one we called, so you can't be mad.
I'm not. I was just mad because I was like, what the
There's no engagement.
like even if he planned to do it, and I know you all were literally just did it. But if it was like a little bit planned and he would have told me, I could have at least been at the court as y'all's like witness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not so much how y'all did it. Me all like petty. I'm like, why was I not involved?
Like it's your way. Like you have a say.
I think I was shocked when it happened. So I immediately was like, but I was happy. I was happy. And I knew it was coming regardless. Oh, let's answer the actual question. What was the question again? How long
do you think a couple should date before getting married?
Okay. I don't necessarily know how to answer that because let me tell you why. When you know, you know. But sometimes just because you know doesn't mean you should just immediately do it, right? So I have two separate opinions. So I'm going to give you my one opinion and my other one. So one opinion is fuck it. If you find your person and you feel like that's the person you want to build on, why not? But then I have my opinion on the other side of you need to get to know this person. You need to experience, I'm not going to say you have to live with them, but experience what it would be like
Mm-hmm.
to be living with this person. You have to know how they communicate with their love languages. There's so many things that you need to find out before you marry this person, because people, I don't care what anybody says, you need to get to know what someone's true colors are.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty honest and blunt when it comes to who I am from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to make smart ass remarks. I'm going to be, tell you how it is. And that's how I am in a relationship. I'm honest and I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to tell you when I don't like something, when I do like something. Like, that's just how I am. But I know that there are certain qualities of when you have to know the qualities of somebody before you commit to them, because they're not always the person that they start off with at the beginning.
Mm. That's the truth.
And when you can genuinely go into a relationship, or you're talking to somebody and you already feel like you're taking those steps to get to know each other and compromise on certain things that make them uncomfortable, that make them comfortable, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, their hobbies. Like, those are all good qualities to know about somebody so that you can build from like a solid foundation
Mm-hmm.
to like build up. But that can take 2 months, that could take 3 months, that could take like, it doesn't necessarily have a timeline.
Yeah.
But I feel like there is a time when it comes to, if you're talking to somebody for a long time and you're in this relationship for a very long time and you not married, where that could sometimes affect somebody and make them feel like, why aren't you making that commitment to me?
Mm.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
why are you taking forever?
Hmm.
Like, why would you not marry me? Why would you not want?
Yeah.
Like, why are you with me if you don't see
Hmm.
the point in? Oh, okay, no, no, no. How do I word it?
Like, what's the issue for you to not fully
Commit.
commit? But when I think about that, this generation sucks
Mm.
when it comes to marriage. So I understand a lot why people don't see
Don't
it
want to
the
get
same.
married. Yeah.
Why they don't see it the same. And we can sit here all day and say like, "Oh, marriage is to commit to somebody, to all these things." Okay, but that
Why
should have
don't you
already
commit before?
happened. That should have already happened before the
Mm-hmm.
marriage. And when you really think about what marriage is, you're supposed to be centered with God.
Mm-hmm.
People don't do that anymore.
No.
You're not supposed to is it lust
Mm-hmm.
over other people.
No.
You're not supposed to want other people in those ways. You're
Mm-hmm.
not like, that is your person 100%. Like, and now there's like cheating and there's all of these things that happened. So now I feel people are like, why am I going to get married?
Mm-hmm.
But it's because marriage isn't seen the same anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's really not.
It's not.
And it's sad. It really is.
Yeah.
And I think I'm such a romantic person that I want that. Like, I want somebody to be able to look at me and be like, yeah,
This is my person.
forever.
And you do.
And I'm not going to do them dirty.
No.
Like, and like really deep into like God being part of that marriage. And nobody's perfect. Like, you're not going to, you
Marriage
should.
has its trials.
It does. And you should constantly have God in the center of your marriage. But in reality, that's not always the case,
Hmm.
Like, let's just be honest.
Like, I feel like people go, like, when they're in a relationship and they go through hard times, they're like, oh, we had a fight. He doesn't love me. He doesn't want to be with me.
Hmm.
But I feel like there's cases where you, if that's your person, you're going to work through it and you're going to forgive them. But if there's cheating and obviously like
Mhm.
abuse or whatever, right, involved, then no.
Mhm.
Then you should leave,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree. I think it depends on your own relationship, and for me, like personally,
Mhm.
I think as long as long as me in a relationship as I've got to know this person, and we had those hard conversations about certain topics, because yeah, you're going to have certain
Mhm.
hard conversations when you're already married, right? But I'm saying like building that good foundation
Mhm.
to build up on, because if you don't have a solid foundation, just like a house, if you don't have a solid foundation and you go and you get married
Mhm.
and then you're trying to solve all of these problems or things that you like or don't like or your expectations for certain things,
Mhm.
that's going to crumble
Yeah.
because you don't have that solid foundation. So I think once you get that solid foundation, then it's okay to marry. But I'm not saying you have to figure it all out right before, because that's just
Mhm.
not ideal. Like you're going to go through things while you're married.
Mhm.
Um so for me, it's kind of like once you have that solid foundation and you know, like, this is the person that I'm going to commit to, this is the person I'm going to give my all to through the good and the bad and just everything in between.
Mhm.
For me, it's like once you have that solid foundation.
Yeah.
So I don't really have like a time.
But I feel like when you know, you know.
I mean, yeah, some people can see it that way.
But obviously, like you're not gonna get married within like a month because
Hmm.
that's puppy love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta get through that. Like you gotta
Yeah.
have those hard
But I feel like
conversations.
you know. Okay, you build off of that then,
Hmm.
and then was you get married.
Yeah. Like once you know that that's the person, like that's how I think of when you know, you know. When you know that this is the person that you're willing to not necessarily change yourself for, but like change things to respect them, or not even necessarily that, but be able to like come to a compromise of like,
Mhm.
how can we do this better? Or communication,
Yeah.
for example, just being able to have that communication, like it's so
Mhm.
so important. Yeah, I guess that's how I would answer that. It's not
A
necessarily
time frame.
a time frame,
Yeah.
as long as you have that solid foundation and you genuinely feel like, yeah, I could commit to this person for the rest of my life. And I mean that in like loyalty,
Mhm.
honesty, like so many different things.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's something that you want us to do in our friendship?
Wait, what?
Like,
Change?
no, no, no. Like
Oh.
something that you want us to like experience together, like throughout our friendship. Mine's traveling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to say traveling. Um, like alone or like yeah,
Like alone, together with like,
partners,
our
whatever. Yeah.
people.
Mine would be yes, traveling. I do want to travel and see the world with you, but being able to experience. Okay, how to explain? Okay, what I want us to get to one point is where I have kids, you have kids, you're married, like whatever, right? And we have like dinners, and like we have the
Oh, I'm
kids
gonna
come
cry.
over, and we have dinners, and like the you and the kids come over, and we go over to yours, right? And we're sitting at a table, and we have the kids like running in the background, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Like I want to be able to experience that with you.
Yeah.
And we're cooking and the guys are outside or
Growing
whatever,
old
right?
together,
Yeah,
going through life.
going through life, yeah.
Yeah.
We have like play dates,
Hmm.
or just you come over and we're baking and the kids are there or whatever,
Yeah.
like that, like family time. Obviously, like I feel
No,
like
I
we,
get you.
yeah,
I get you.
obviously eventually, right? But
Hmm.
um, that's what I want. That's what I really want. Because I can just travel with you.
Yeah.
You tell Alex, take care of the kids. Let's
Yeah.
go.
See ya. No, yeah. I think, what are we gonna do when we're like old, old? Oh. And like we're getting to, this
In
is
like a
gonna be real
nursing
deep.
home.
But not
I
in
don't want to be
nursing,
a
but like
nursing home.
once we get to that point of age where like one of us is gonna go before the other.
Oh, don't even talk about
Don't even talk about it.
it. I have to die before you.
No.
No.
No. I don't
No.
wanna die
I'm not
after
gonna die
you.
before you. No. If you die, I'm dying with you. Obviously, if I don't have Alex, right? But
That's gonna be. We're not even gonna talk about that.
no.
Okay, go. Your turn.
Are you done with your questions?
Mm-hmm.
What's something you'd do differently if you had a chance?
Oh, that's gonna make me cry. I feel like there's a lot of things in life that I would do differently. But I think one of my biggest things that I would do differently would be not ever putting me first.
Like you not putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like not putting myself first education wise, not putting myself first with friendships, relationships, all of it. Just all of it. I always put others above me, which is something I don't want to change about myself. Like, I don't want to change the
Mm-hmm.
heart I have. I don't want to change my. Because, yes, like, I come off like, and I have a hard shell,
Mm-hmm.
but inside, I'm literally so loving and caring. And
Yeah.
I take things really personally because there's certain things that I would like. Isn't mad at you for I would have never done that to you. When she's like talking to Cassie,
Oh
I would have never
yeah.
done this to you. Like that's how I feel when I'm done wrong because genuinely I would never. And so if I would change one thing, it would be to put me first in the process of also caring about other people.
Yeah. But being selfish, and I always tell you that be selfish,
Yeah.
be selfish, be selfish, be selfish. Okay, I think we talked about this, but it says, "What's one thing in a friendship you think we should change or work on?" That's my last question.
What should we change?
Or work on.
I don't know. What do you think we should work on?
Hmm, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything when I was writing it down.
Because I mean, we're honest with each other
Yeah.
and we see each other, I would say enough. Like sometimes we don't, but that's because life happens.
Yeah.
Um,
Like girl time. We spend girl time together.
we haven't in a
Alex is in the
while.
background. That's why.
Yeah. I don't think we've had like genuine girl time in a long time. Like where it's
Yeah.
just me and you here. Or me and you going out and just doing
Because he's
our
always
own
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Like we haven't had that
Maybe
in a
that.
while.
Just girl time.
Like making it a priority to be like,
Mhm.
let's say fuck everybody else and go and have our own time.
Let's go do this together.
Like even just like going to like
Or like those nights where we do
used to
like
go to
froyo.
yeah, we haven't had froyo in forever, or we haven't gone to like go and just look in barns, like not even have to buy anything, but we have not walked into barns together in how long? Well, we're about to right with the release party. I guess
Yeah.
that's gonna be our girl night soon.
Hmm. But we haven't.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah, I would say incorporating that or changing that or work on that, I guess.
that's it.
That's all my questions.
That's all my questions too. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that is our podcast for today. We decided, we're still kind of fresh off, I would say. So you're
Mm-hmm.
still kind of getting to know us. So
Yeah.
I feel like having this podcast where we can kind of ask questions to each other. It's also healthy for us because we just get to let it out, you know?
And it's our bonding time too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it, this is our girl time now.
Well, yeah, but still.
Like, this is part of us, like,
Mm-hmm.
separating. But, anyways, sorry, back to what I was saying. Our next podcast will be out obviously next week.
Yeah.
This was our podcast for this week.
Number 2.
We hope that you all will enjoy us asking questions to each other. We got a little bit emotional, so sorry.
We're very emotional besties.
I don't know, do you have anything to say?
Mm. I'm worried about TikTok.
Dude.
I'm really worried about TikTok. I feel okay. We'll find out tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the time this episode comes out,
You know what I've absolutely loved though about this?
hmm.
How everybody, like all the influencers, like Hype House and like all of them,
Hmm.
like they're recreating
Oh yeah. Well, I don't
like
really follow.
old TikTok. Like you know the dance is like I have no idea. I look at that too much. Let's get naughty.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like they're doing all those dances.
Like it's bringing it
Yeah.
back to the. That reminds
Or
me of
like
like
the one where they're
COVID
like,
time.
you know,
Yeah,
like all
yeah,
the dancing part of TikTok, like, and they're all doing it, and I'm
yeah.
like, ugh. Or everybody posting their drafts, like,
Oh yeah.
so I'm obsessed with these people. Okay, I'm not obsessed, but you know what I'm saying. Their drama, Mama C, Whitney Wren,
Oh yeah.
Jacob Savage, all of them. I've always like watched their stuff, like from when they were all a group of friends and when they all like separated and stuff. And like Whitney has been posting all of like her memories, like her drafts with Mama C. And I
Hmm.
just want their friendship back so bad, but I think they're just too far gone, and it makes me sad for them. But
I thought they were friends again.
no,
Oh.
mm-mm. But Mama C's just out there being a mom, you know, and
Oh
she's
yeah.
killing it. Like she's
Hmm.
doing good as a mom. You know, Whitney's doing her own thing with Tyler. Yeah, I don't know why I brought them up, but
I'm just worried about TikTok.
I am
We'll
too.
see.
That's what I'm saying. Like all of that's gonna be taken away from me. Like I'm not gonna know what they're doing anymore. But somebody's gonna make another app.
They
Transfer
were
to.
saying that what's his name, Mr. Beast was gonna buy TikTok.
I know, but
I feel like he.
the problem was like, weren't they also saying that Elon Musk wanted to buy it? But
Yeah.
he doesn't want to sell. The United States wanted to buy TikTok from China.
So no. What I heard was that the United States like owns TikTok, but Alex was telling me that China owns
China owns TikTok.
no the data, like the actual like some data that TikTok has, but the United States owns TikTok. I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know. All I know is that China owns something, and the United States don't like it, and so they're just gonna take it away from us.
Well, we'll see. We'll
Like
find out in the
I
next
really,
episode.
truly, I know this is gonna sound like I have a problem, but what am I gonna do without TikTok?
Yeah.
Like, yes, we have Twitter. I still
I
call it Twitter. I had
I
Twitter
don't
and I
use
have
Twitter
Instagram,
anymore.
but like
Most
I
of the
spend
time.
my time on TikTok
TikTok.
scrolling. All right, well, you know what? We're just gonna close it off.
On the
Thank
next
you all.
episode.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening to
Yes.
us. If we did say the word like and literally again multiple
Um,
times, we apologize. It's just our vocabulary. We
we're
don't
gonna
mean
have to
to
cut it
annoy
out.
y'all. We will try to cut out as much as we can of it if it
Yeah.
happens. But thank you all so much for
Yes.
listening to
And
our
supporting us.
yeah.
Those who follow us, like and comment and text us on the side. It means a lot
It
to have
does.
your support.
It does. So now Bianca's gonna go and make me some dinner.
Some Dana. Some Cajun pasta.
Bye.
Bye.